In the heart of the city, among the busy streets and towering skyscrapers, there was a quiet and unpretentious photography studio. Its windows, decorated with faded curtains, beckon those who seek to capture moments frozen in time. However, behind the facade of creativity and artistry and sinister secrets, Alex, a talented young photographer, had recently inherited the studio from his late uncle, a famous photographer himself. He, who was excited to continue his journey, poured his heart and soul into his work and depicted the beauty of the world through his eyes. But as the days turned into weeks, Alex noticed strange things happening in the studio. Shots taken at night were made with inexplicable shadows lurking in the background, and eerie whispers seemed to echo through the empty halls as he worked alone. Despite his growing discomfort, Alex was determined to uncover the truth behind these disturbing phenomena. One fateful evening, while he was making a series of portraits, he noticed a dim figure standing right in front of his camera frame. Heart pounding, Alex cautiously approached the face, only to discover it was a spectral apparition, a ghostly manifestation of his late uncle. His eyes full of sorrow and longing, with trembling hands, he gave her a magazine whose pages were full of mysterious writings and faded photos. As Alex digs deeper into the journal's contents, he learns of his uncle's obsession with capturing the essence of the supernatural, a quest that leads him to make a dark deal with otherworldly forces. In exchange for his artistic skills, he promised to bring souls to the realm of the dead. Realizing the extent of his uncle's stupidity, Alex knew he had to end the cycle of darkness that was consuming his studio. Armed with his camera and newfound knowledge, he embarks on a dangerous journey to confront the malevolent creatures lurking within its walls. With each photo Alex took, soon released a flood of energy that sent the ghosts back to the realm they came from. As the last echoes of their heartbreaking cries faded into the night, he breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that he had broken his uncle's obsession once and for all. From that day on, Alex's studio thrived once again, and its doors are open to those looking to capture moments of joy and celebration. However, deep in its shadows remained the memory of his uncle's obsession, a cautionary tale of the dangers that lurk when one gets too deep into the unknown.
In the quiet town of Willowbrook, nestled in the middle of a dense forest, there was an old elementary school that had been abandoned for decades. Its battered bricks whispered stories of forgotten memories and hidden secrets in the weather. Among its crumbling walls was a time capsule buried deep in the roots of an old oak tree, waiting to reveal its secrets. Legend has it that the time capsule was sealed by Willowbrook Elementary students in 1965, only to be opened 50 years later. But over the years, the memory of its existence faded into obscurity, until one fateful day, a group of adventurous teenagers stumbled upon an old magazine in the attic of the town library. The journal belonged to Emily, a former Willowbrook Elementary student who recorded her experiences during the burial of the time capsule. Fascinated by this mystery, the teenagers decided to discover the truth behind the forgotten relic. Armed with flashlights and shovels, they went to the oversized schoolyard under the cover of night. The air was thick with anticipation as they scaled the ground, and their hearts pounded with excitement and fear. Finally, after hours of non-stop digging, they discovered the rusted metal casing of the time capsule. With trembling hands, they opened the door and looked inside, expecting to find traces of the past. But instead, they were met with a harrowing sight, a series of eerie artifacts, each more unsettling than the last. There were yellowed photos of children with hollow eyes, faded letters written in a language they couldn't decipher, and a mysterious map that seemed to lead nowhere. A sense of dread overtook them as they sifted through the contents of the time capsule. It was as if the ghosts of the past were reaching out and begging to be heard. Suddenly they heard a strange sound echoing from deep in the forest, a haunting song that sent shivers down their spines. Terrified, they abandoned the time capsule and fled into the night, their minds reeling from the horrors they had witnessed. And though they tried to forget what they had seen, memories lingered like ghosts in the shadows, reminding them that some secrets are better buried deep in time. Days turned into weeks, but the secrets of the time capsule still weighed heavily on the teenagers' minds. They found themselves caught up in an insatiable curiosity and couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to discover. With relentless obsession, they returned night after night to the abandoned schoolyard, searching every inch of the decaying building for clues. But the deeper they went, the more elusive the truth slipped through their fingers like smoke in the wind. Then, one moonlit night, they stumble upon a hidden room beneath the school, hidden behind a crumbling wall. Inside, they discover a collection of old photographs, each depicting a different era of Willowbrook's history, but one photo, in particular, caught their attention, a faded image of a young girl with piercing blue eyes, standing under the branches of an ancient oak tree. Fascinated by this girl's mysterious look, they search the city records for any mention of her name to discover her identity. And finally, after weeks of tireless searching, they discovered the truth. The girl in the photo was none other than Emily, the same Emily whose office had led them to the time capsule. But Emily's story was not so ordinary. Born into a wizarding family, he had powers beyond imagination, powers that had been passed down through the generations. And it was her magic that had sealed the time capsule all those years ago, binding its secrets to an ancient spell. Determined to uncover the secrets of the time capsule once and for all, the teenagers sought out Emily's descendants, hoping to discover the secrets of her magic. Together they performed a powerful ceremony under the branches of an old oak tree, using the spirits of the past to reveal their secrets. As the moon rose in the night sky, the ground began to shake and the air crackled with the electricity. And then, in a blinding flash, the time capsule burst open, its contents spilling out like a river of memories. But what they found inside was not what they expected. Instead of relics from the past, they discovered a portal, a gateway to another realm, where time stood still and reality twisted and turned like a labyrinth. They panicked through the portal and into the unknown depths of the time capsule. And as they journey into the depths of darkness, They discover that the true meaning of the time capsule, not to preserve the past, but to unlock the secrets of the future, a future where magic and mystery reign supreme.
In a quaint town nestled amidst misty hills, an old, abandoned mansion loomed over the landscape, shrouded in mystery and tales of tragedy. The townsfolk whispered of its dark past, of a forbidden love affair that ended in despair and death. One stormy night, Sarah, a bold and adventurous soul with an insatiable curiosity, found herself drawn to the decaying mansion. Ignoring the warnings of superstition, she embarked on a solitary journey, determined to unravel the secrets hidden within its walls. Armed with nothing but a flickering flashlight and her unyielding resolve, Sarah ventured into the depths of the mansion. The wind howled mournfully as she crossed the threshold, her footsteps echoing through the empty halls like whispers of the past. As she explored the labyrinthine corridors, Sarah stumbled upon a hidden chamber, concealed behind a rusted door. Intrigued, she pushed it open and stepped into the darkness beyond. The room was cloaked in shadows, illuminated only by a solitary beam of moonlight that filtered through a broken window. In the center of the chamber stood an ancient desk, its surface littered with dust and debris. And there, amidst the ruins, lay a weathered parchment, its edges curling with age. With trembling hands, Sarah reached out and unfolded the letter, her heart pounding with anticipation. The letter bore the mark of a bygone era, its words written in elegant script that spoke of a love that defied all odds. It told the tale of Amelia and Jonathan, two souls bound together by a love that was forbidden, their passion consuming and their happiness fleeting. As Sarah delved deeper into the letter, she felt a chill creep into her bones. The words spoke of betrayal and heartache, of a love torn asunder by the cruel hand of fate. And yet, amidst the despair, there lingered a sense of longing, a yearning for a love that transcended time and space. Suddenly, Sarah became aware of a presence looming behind her, a malevolent force that stirred in the shadows. The air grew cold, and the faint sound of whispering filled the chamber, sending shivers down her spine. With a sense of foreboding, Sarah turned to flee, but it was too late. A pair of icy hands reached out from the darkness, grasping at her throat with an otherworldly strength. Panic surged through her veins as she struggled to break free, her heart pounding in her chest. With a final, desperate cry, Sarah tore herself from the grip of the unseen entity and fled from the mansion, her pulse racing and her breath coming in ragged gasps. As she stumbled into the safety of the moonlit night, she cast one last glance over her shoulder, the echoes of haunting laughter lingering in the air. From that day forth, the lost love letter remained undisturbed, a silent witness to the tragedy that befell those who dared to uncover its secrets. And Sarah, haunted by the memory of her brush with the supernatural, vowed never to return to the mansion that had claimed so many souls before her.
In the heart of a bustling city, Among the towering skyscrapers and busy streets, there was a small park. It was a place that time had forgotten, where whispers of the past lingered like ghosts in the shadows. Amid the overgrown grass and weathered benches stood an ancient oak tree, its gnarled branches reaching skyward like the fingers of an old sage. Under its wide canopy, a group of children gathered as they prepared to bury their most prized possession in a time capsule. Each child carefully selected an item to include in their memories: a worn teddy bear, a treasured family photo, a handwritten letter full of dreams and wishes. And as they lowered their gifts deep into the capsule, they solemnly vowed to return one day, unearth their buried treasures, and relive the memories they held dear. But over the years, the park fell into disrepair, and the memories of the time capsule faded into darkness. The children grew up and left, their promises forgotten in the chaos of life. Decades later, a group of strangers stumble upon an abandoned park that has captured a sense of nostalgia and curiosity. Among them was Sarah, a young woman with a desire for adventure and a passion for communication. As she explored the ruined park, Sarah's gaze fell upon an ancient oak tree, its twisted branches whispering secrets of times past. Fascinated, he began digging under its roots, and his fingers brushed against the cool metal of a forgotten time capsule. Sarah pulled the capsule out of the dirt with trembling hands, her heart pounding in anticipation as she lifted the lid. Inside, she finds a collection of treasures: faded photographs, childhood trinkets, and handwritten letters filled with dreams and wishes. But among the relics of the past, Sarah discovers something else: a promise written in shaky handwriting on a piece of parchment. It was a promise made by the children of long ago, a promise to return to the park and unearth their buried memories. Sarah, who was impressed by the sincerity of their words, made a decision at that moment. He honors the forgotten promise, not just for himself, but for the children who left their memories years ago. With the help of the community, Sarah restored the park to its former glory and made it a beautiful and wonderful place once again. And on the appointed day, the children, now grown and scattered all over the world, returned to the park with hearts full of longing and anticipation. As they gathered under the old oak tree, they shared stories of their lives and memories they had buried long ago. And in that moment, they realized that the true treasure of the time capsule is not the items it contains, but the bonds of friendship and the enduring promise of a relationship that has stood the test of time. With a sense of nostalgia filling the air, Sarah and the reunited group of friends began to explore the park, each step stirring up memories of their childhood adventures. They laughed as they recalled games played among the rustling leaves and whispered secrets shared beneath the moonlit sky. But amidst the laughter and joy, there lingered a tinge of sadness, a reminder of the innocence they had left behind and the promises they had forgotten. As they wandered through the park, they couldn't help but feel a pang of regret for the years lost and the memories left unexplored. Determined to reclaim what was lost, Sarah suggested they locate the time capsule and revisit the treasures buried within. With renewed determination, they gathered around the spot where the capsule had been unearthed, their hands trembling with anticipation as they prepared to lift the lid once more. Inside, they found not only their childhood mementos, but also a letter addressed to their future selves. Written in the shaky handwriting of their younger selves, the letter contained hopes and dreams for the years to come, along with a heartfelt plea to never forget the bond they shared. Touched by the sincerity of their past selves, the group made a solemn vow to honor the promise they had made so many years ago. With tears in their eyes and laughter in their hearts, they reburied the time capsule, knowing that their memories would be preserved for generations to come. As they stood beneath the ancient oak tree, bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun, they made a new promise. to return to the park each year, to celebrate the enduring power of friendship and the timeless beauty of the forgotten promise that had brought them together once more.